Welcome everyone to another podium broadcast. We are with the AMF boys again on a Monday night mixed and fixed race. Tonight's a good one. We have the V8s at Phillip Island. So the homegrown V8s of the Holden and Ford are back in Melbourne for another round. Sponsored by CPR Car Parts. And joining me in the commentary booth is Ryan, the man himself. How you going?
Yeah, good, Steve. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. I'm ready for tonight, actually. It's going to be a fun one. This is probably one of the first broadcasts of the Monday night races we've had. And it's going to be an absolute belter, I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think so too. And we've started it just in time. I'm just about to call out the drivers to finish off the top 10 shootout. So for those who haven't raced in AMF Monday Night Series, we always do a top 10 shootout for qualifying. So we let the drivers outside of the top 10 get out and do some lap each. We do one out lap, one flying lap, just to really put the pressure on people. So I'm about to call out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the booth while I do all my race control stuff as well. So the viewers will get a bit of an idea of what happens from a race control perspective as well. So yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race tonight. Look, as it is in the V8s, it does change every Monday night, so it's pretty hard for these boys to send me one paint a week for the different cars that they have in this series running. So look, they are running their standard iRacing paints this evening, but we will keep you updated on the bottom of the screen. We'll have a focus on bar so you can see who it is, and if they are registered with the AMF, they will come up with their team name on the bottom as well. So look, as they're doing, as what Ryan just said before, they do jump out on their flying laps and have their laps.
I'm just about to send car 10 out. Car 968, you're ready to start your out lap, please.
That's Sam Katakazinas. We saw him last night in AMF GT Dev Series doing a stellar job. And this is the top 10 shootout. So this is the fun bit of it. We're going to see what's going to go on here. This is new to everyone on the AMF broadcast. Something a little bit different, and it's good that we're actually broadcasting some V8s as well. So it's awesome fun.
Can I get you to the pit exit line, please?
And as you can hear Ryan in the background, he is race control as usual. He's done his job awesome, and he's actually joining me in the commentary box. So we thought, for a change, that you guys could actually see, or hear, rather, what Ryan goes through and how he race controls these races.
So basically what I do with the top 10 shootout is I'll send one driver out, send another one to the control line. As soon as that driver then starts his flying lap, I'll then send the next car out. And then so on and so forth. Just that way there's one car's doing their flying lap, the next car's doing their warm-up lap. Otherwise we'd be sitting here for 20 minutes, half an hour waiting for qualifying to finish. Tonight we've given the guys instructions that they're to use the first pit exit, not the second pit exit, so not the MotoGP exit. So during the race they'll be using that. Tonight's our first of our 45-minute races, or 25 laps. What we do is we set the fuel in the tanks and in the car to start off with to force 2 stops in this race. So it should be interesting to see how it goes.
That's it, as I keep jumping back, and you can see the next car just waiting at the control line while Sam is starting his flying lap. Let's jump over and watch his lap.
Car 27, you are good to leave the pits. Car 26 to the pit exit line, please. So while I'm doing this commentary with you tonight, Steve, I'm actually going to be running live race control completely for the entire race. So I'm going to stay live when I make a call for the series as well. So all the viewers will actually get to hear whatever call I decide or make in any incident that does happen in the race.
I think it's going to be a good thing for them as well. They're going to see like a behind the scenes what happens, what happens in race control, because a lot of guys that don't race the Monday night series race the AMF GT Dev series that we have on Sundays. So it's going to be interesting for the guys to actually see what everyone goes through behind the scenes. because it's a little bit different. It's a little bit, you know, top 10 shootouts don't really happen, and then, you know, the V8s, especially on the AMF, they're not covered. They're only what once a season, once a year.
Once a season, 4 times a year, we'd run the V8s. So we only do 4 races of the V8s a year, so we don't do them very often.
That's good fun though, but you got to change it up. You do have to change it up. As you can see, Sam Kanagazena's coming over the finish line to set his flying lap. That's a 1:32.4.
That's put him in provisional second at the moment. All the drivers have been instructed to drive off the end of the pit straight when they finish their lap too.
It's not, they're not going funny, they're just doing it. As
Yep.
you can see, Martin Turner coming round just to start his flying lap, and we will jump on board again like we did with Sam Kanagazenas. Change it
Car
up a little bit.
26, you're good to leave the pits. Car 79 to the pit exit, please. Try to keep my instructions as clear as possible. It avoids any miscommunications, I guess.
It's all it's good to see. It's good to, even for me. It's a bit different to be in a race control broadcasting, nice laid back kind of situation at the moment. So it's good.
So yeah, Justin and I, we just started to do top 10 shootouts about 5 seasons ago. I think we started doing it, and it's really changed up our usual grids, because the fastest guys don't always end up on, because you've only got one shot. And if you bin it, that's it. You're done. There's no retry or anything like that. If you get an off track on your one flying lap, then you're starting at the back of the grid. So it really puts the onus on the driver to maybe not put in the fastest possible time and dial it back just a little bit so that they can get a good qualifying lap.
As we're just on board with Martin Turner there. Nice, a little bit of tyre scrubbing, a little bit of understeer, but he's doing nice to keep it on the track. Not coming out, oversteering out of corners, not putting that power down too much. He's done really well on this lap. Let's see what the time is as he crosses the finish line. It's a 1:32.442.
So that's moved him up into provisional second.
As we have Marty Hansen coming out of the last corner onto the main straight to start his flying lap.
Car 79, you're good to start your qualifying. Car 868 to the pit exit, please.
As we would like to mention in the brief break we have at the moment while he's doing his flying lap, this is actually sponsored by CPR Car Parts. Everyone would know that name. It's an absolute famous name in Australian sim racing. They do an amazing job for the community, and they've come on board to help Justin and Ryan with this series. It's amazing that the community's growing and everyone's supporting each other. It's brilliant.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Paul Jones, who actually races in this Monday night series, he sponsors us now. Justin and I have had a pretty good relationship with Paul for a few years now, and in Paul's go-kart business, he's trying to get the go-karters of Australia into sim racing at the same time, as we see Marty Hansen end his qualifying lap. He's gone off the track at the
That's not good. That's not good. That's going to hurt his time.
Well,
it would be
he's
invalid.
headed off track, so yeah, it's an invalid lap. He's done for qualifying.
So that's really gonna, the blood boiling's probably about to happen.
Yep.
But look, that's it with shootouts. You've only got one lap. You've got to give it everything you've got.
Exactly right. And it's a fine line of, do you give it everything or do you make sure you get that lap in so you're not starting at the back of the grid.
Alright, let's jump on board with Alan Holgerson.
Car 868, you may start your qualifying lap. Car 30 to the pit exit, please. Yeah, exactly right, and that's part of the reason why Justin and I decided to start doing this top 10 shootout, was because it does change up the grids. It does put a lot of pressure on you to really get your lap right. And we have seen jumbled up grids because of it, and drivers out of position where they would normally be based on, just doing hot lapping pace.
There's a lot of pressure though to do one lap, one good lap. You know, it's even me. I think I'd find it a bit difficult just to jump out. You know, and you've got one warm-up lap, and you've got to go hell for leather. But you know, with the new tyre models that iRacing always brings in, it's more than one lap that's gonna take to heat up them tyres.
Especially in this car definitely takes at least 2 or 3 laps to really get your tyres bedded for some good laps. So it's you're skating on thin ice in the best of the time in this car anyway. So look, it's a tough ask in this car.
Yeah, just drop the clutch, put the accelerator down, and yeah, hope it sticks. Hashtag send it.
So you've got Alan coming around. Alan's always generally pretty fast in this series. He's a pretty quick driver, so it'll be interesting to see his time.
1:32.196.
And that has put him in provisional pole.
Yeah, that's on the top step by 0.119.
10, yeah.
As Stephen Varga just crosses the start-finish line to start his
car 30,
flying lap.
Pit lane. Car 149, please go to the exit of the pit lane, please.
So obviously most of these boys' paints must be in my paint folder because some of them are showing up.
I don't know. You must have run with a couple of these boys before and seen their paints, but no, some of them won't be. I know on my screen they're showing, obviously I've got trading paints running on my screen, but a lot of them are showing probably different paints that are coming up on the broadcast.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't run trading paints as soon as broadcasting starts. I can't. So I must have run with these boys because the paints are still in the V8 folder. So it's good to see that they're actually representing some, you know, or the broadcast can represent some of the teams for these boys, and they can get it out because it is a little bit of a mixed up situation there with the iRacing and the whole paint debacle. But most of the teams that we'll see, like RRT that's on screen, and we all follow the rules that are there, so it's good that they actually get their teams paint shown, you know, and not only that, the sponsors as well. That's what they sponsor the cars for.
Exactly right. You know, a lot of people don't realise, but in sim racing, there is actually money involved with these sponsors nowadays, and there's people that are willing to back teams into this series. So it's great to see that this Australian sim growing and growing.
A 1:31.196. Wow, straight up on the top. He's got the top step.
That's a very quick time for a flying lap. That's faster than any time posted in practice too, by almost 3/10.
That's been the fastest lap of the whole entire server.
1:49, you're good to start your qualifying. Car 64 to pit exit, please.
Nathan Anderson jumping on board with him. Let's see how this goes. I know it's a little bit of an awkward view, but it lets you see everything. If we have a cockpit view that goes right up against the steering wheel like we race, then you won't see outside the windows because you're not running triple screens on a broadcast. As he comes down to this nice tight hairpin, I don't think that was probably the best of corners and the best of exits. Let's see how he goes through the next couple of corners. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. That's going to hurt him getting the power down. Over here, a little lift. That's it, nice and easy. A little bit too much curb, but who am I to judge? I'm not racing. Over the hill into a nice second gear. Some people in first. Nice tight corner. Get the power down early. And then again, you're going to have a nice loaded right rear through here. It's hard to get the power down. To get into the next corner and get across that main straight as fast as you possibly can. A 1:31.597 puts him in second spot.
Track's obviously cooled down from practice and the cars are definitely going a lot faster.
Well, as David Miller starts his lap, let's do that. Let's check out the weather. The track is 30 degrees.
64, you're good to leave the pit for your qualifying. Car 947 to the pit exit, please.
So
Now,
it's
I'm not
30
100%
degrees
sure
track.
of Wes.
It's
Yeah,
not that
I'm
bad.
not. It's not that bad. The track's definitely rubbed in a lot. Now Justin's a bit horrible. He does not get the server to clear the track, so any dirt and horribleness that is on the track, it stays on between sessions. So as these guys drag dirt onto the track, it stays on there. It does not get reset in between the sessions.
Well, you just see a front right brake lock up by David there, pushing a little bit too hard into that corner. As we always say in racing, the exit speed is better than the entry speed. Not that I'm a guru.
Now the other thing we do in AMF is after qualifying, we give the guys a 5-minute break before the race starts. Ironically, unlike a lot of other leagues, we actually let them go out there and crash into each other. They have a bit of a smash around and get all their argy-bargy out of their system now. The only rule is they're not allowed to set a lap, so they have to crash before they cross the finish line, but they're allowed to go out and crash into each other and have a bit of a laugh and carry on before the race starts.
A little bit of demo derby, never hurt no one.
Pretty much, yeah. That's it. That's our motto.
As he comes across the line at a 1:31.3, that puts him
Car
in
60.
P2.
Car 9. Oh, I'm too early there. I was watching the wrong car. I was a bit ahead of myself. Car 947, you're good to leave the pit lap. Car 24, you go to the pit exit, please.
As we see the man himself, Mr. CPR Kart Parts, Paul Jones.
Paul Jones, he's very, very quick in this car. He's done a lot of racing in the V8s. He's got a lot of speed.
And I like his livery, especially with those lovely pink rims.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say anything to that, though. Yeah, those lovely pink rims, and even in the grey kind of
The grey
undercoat.
actually works quite well with the pink.
It does, doesn't it?
You've never really seen much of the AMF Monday nights. As a joke, Steve, I always run a completely pink livery for Monday nights. Obviously, I'm not racing at the moment. I'm taking this entire season of iRacing off, but I normally run an entirely pink livery every single week. Just as a bit of a laugh with the boys.
Why not? It's like that's what happens when you get in trouble. You know, you got to ring the
I think pink
livery.
cars stand out really well, and you know everyone knows I'm race control. So even though I'm racing, I would normally go back and review the race afterwards. So it's the pink car. Stay away from the pink car.
The brightest car out there.
Yep.
Look at him, cool as a cucumber. He needs a pink helmet.
Yeah, he's a bit of Iceman sometimes.
As he's about to cross the line.
Ooh, he's only gone into provisional 4.
1:31.606.
Tyler Blackburn. Now this man can put a lap together.
Well, look, we all know how Tyler can
Car
drive.
24, you are good to start your qualifying lap. Yeah, we all know how good Tyler can drive, and he is a very, very fast driver.
Let's jump on board and let's see how he goes. Using maximum of the track there, but just didn't get on the brakes good enough. That's going to hurt a little bit. Oh, a little bit too much oversteer on that.
I'm surprised not to see Tyler's teammate in here tonight, Stephen Lattimore. He normally races with us on a Monday night.
He's probably still trying to figure out technical errors from last night.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose there's that.
Huey. He's in the YouTube chat. Oliver Fullerton is my hero. Is that payback, is it?
I don't know.
They have a rolling joke, these two. see what it is. NP5 with a 131888. Damon Mulqueen. The man himself.
Yeah, driving for
Synergy. He's
Synergy. He's driving for Synergy.
He can absolutely pedal. Absolutely pedal. I know how he drives a V8, and trust me, I've let him down twice in a Bathurst 1000 by putting it in a wall. He'll never he'll never ever let it down. But he can definitely pedal.
That doesn't sound like Damo at all.
Nah, it's not him. He'll have a joke every time he can.
Yeah. Damo actually spent Season 2 of the Dev Series with me in race control, so I got to know Damo quite well over the course of 12 races, and he's good fun to have a chat with.
He's a streamer as well. He's a Twitch streamer as well. He jumps on his Disengage, I think it is. You've got to help everyone out in the community. You've got to give him a shout out. He's a good drifter too. Right. You can definitely drift these cars. If you think racing them's hard, try drifting them.
Yeah, I can't drift at the best of times, so that's not going to happen for me. So after Damo crosses the line, I'll announce to all the guys that they can have a bit of a muck around and a bit of a laugh, and then I'll advance the server in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll jump to an ad break while that's happening, and just put it on screen with the boys crashing into each other.
That's it.
As Damon's about to cross the finish line, puts him in what position?
Provisional third.
131.5 triple or 77. Should I say?
Congratulations to the podium for qualifying. Stephen Varga, that's an absolute cracker of a lap. Gentlemen, you got 5 minutes of mucking around now. You can crash into each other, do whatever you want. Whatever you do, please do not run a lap at all. I will advance the session at 9:07.
Alright, while they're doing that, we'll leave the grid up on screen and we'll go to an advert.
Safety car, safety car, safety car. Slow down, single file guys, single file, safety car, safety car.
you've got a penalty. If you've got a black flag, I mean DQ, please let me know.
As they all jump on the grid, let's have a quick look. Sal Galanti's up front.
Yeah, Sal's starting in 11th.
Oh, it's a bit weird at the moment. The grid's just playing. Oh, it's because it's not moved around. That's why. Give it 20 seconds and I'll sort it out when the timing comes through.
Yep. So I'm just going to make an announcement to the field. Alright guys, so as I said earlier on in practice, keep your elbows in for this race. We're here for fun, not for sheep stations. And yeah, basically go out and enjoy yourselves. There will be mandatory pit stops in these races, so make sure you're keeping an eye on your fuel as well. We don't like to hide anything from our drivers. We like to let them know everything that's going on.
I think it's going to be good for like the people that actually watch the broadcast, because I've got messages from people that don't, or are not even on iRacing, and have messaged saying, "Oh, this is a wicked series," and blah blah blah. So it's really good for them to see behind the scenes, not only race control and a broadcast, a nice relaxed kind of environment, and a race like this one.
Well, yeah, most people don't realise what I do on a nightly basis when I'm running these series, so it's good to give everyone a bit of insight to it.
As the time ticks down to 2 zeros, we'll be getting ready to go. And they're off, underway. And the timing screen's just fixed itself. We have a three-way battle. Damon Mulqueen trying to stick it up the middle there between Stephen Varga and Sal Galenti. Is it? No, it's not. As the timing screens are going crazy once again. David Miller up the front, holding it out over Damon Mulqueen at the moment. Nothing has happened back of the field at the moment. Everything is going nice and neat. These boys want to race the full distance. They don't just want to go 5 laps in or even in the second corner as Damon goes wide. And David is in the middle or inner corner. Let's see who can get the power down the best.
We've got one car, lost it. Oh, he's done really well not to take the field out in the back of the field there.
Oh, no, there's another car just going around as well. That's Mitch Dean, I think it is, no?
Ashley Norman spun around.
As you can see, he's in the rear of the field there. Let's just jump back up the front. Stephen Varga on his teammate of David Miller. So obviously Damon Mulqueen must have lost a spot. And the little bit where we shot something else that was going on in the back of the field. Everything's going really good at the moment, but Sal Galenti is blinking. He just lost a spot. Bruce Ross, on the other hand, he's really putting the pressure on as well. The time is absolutely awesome in this race. That's what V8s do.
Cutting across there. Is he going to cause an incident? Oh, that was very close. It was very, very close to being an unsafe entry. I'll let it go, seeing as nobody had to brake and nobody had to do major evasive action. And Sal Galenti's off at turn 1.
And dropping down the timesheets really quick as he pulls back on the track. That is a safe rejoin. Just behind, that would be Justin Cotterill. No, he's just in front, should I say. Oh, look at that, too wide into that bend. They're playing nice tonight, Ryan. You must have scared them.
They are playing nice. Look, I think majority of the regulars, they all know the rules by now, and I think it's when people know somebody's watching and they know they can get a penalty live, they tend to be a bit more courteous in their moves and what they do.
Ooh, Sam Kagazinus going in the inner line. Or outer line, should I say. That was for 6th position. Look at them still too wide, coming around the last bend here. Who's going to... Oh, that's close.
Yeah, the top 5 have pulled away. You've got Stephen Varga, David Millard, Damon Malpoint, Nathan Anderson, Tyler Blackburn. They're the 5 main culprits I did expect to pull away. I kind of expected to see Paul Jones up with them, but he's had a bit of a tough couple of first laps. So, but overall, it's really, really clean.
He's got clean air though, so he could probably keep up.
Paul is very, very quick, like I said in qualifying, so I have no doubt that he'll either join up to these guys if these guys start fighting, or at least hold station through the pit stop phase as well. One of the other reasons why on our Monday night series we like to have pit stops is to allow drivers to get back into the race if they do crash early. We do have fast repairs in this series, which allows you can have a bad crash and still get back in and keep enjoying your racing instead of having a bad crash and then you're out. Your race is over.
We kind of try to say that in the AMF GT Dev series. Like, even last night, there was a couple of races that had really bad runs.
Oh, unfortunately, that's Justin Cotterill. I'm going to have a look at that one. That was a pretty big incident.
See if we can get a replay of that one.
So generally what I do, I'll see a big incident and I'll go and look at it live just to make sure. Look, he's actually lost the car all by himself and then hit a bump and then put it in the wall. So that's just a self-penalising issue. He's done it all by himself.
That lovely AMF paint as well.
Yeah, so Justin does his own paints every week. He normally does a variety of colours and allows us drivers to pick the paints that he does. So he'll do one paint and then do it in a variety of colour schemes. And generally a lot of the regulars will just choose his paints and we run those paints.
Oh, as you just see Stephen Varga locking the front right there. Didn't hurt too much in this kind of situation.
Nathan Anderson had a bit of a wiggle exiting the hairpin too, so he's just dropped slightly back off Damon and fallen back into Tyler.
Tyler's on there, right on his back bumper. As you can see, a beautiful shot of that race on Oz. Hagnian sponsored car. He's right on him. He wants that spot. Oh, he puts a nose out, but he's not going to do it right there. Everything's bunched back up between the 1st and 5th. We'll see this battle heat up a little bit more. Let's look through the
sitting
field.
in 5th, Tyler Blackburn has set the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:31.432. So it's quite an electric pace to start the race off too.
Especially, yeah, that was last lap. Everyone's doing okay. It was really, really, really tight. And even you can go down to even 24th position with Michael Stewart. He's even at a 0.8 second gap behind Adam. Oh, and then you've got Adam right on the back and making a move on Mitch.
And he's
gets it done.
By the looks of it. Just as we say that, Oliver Fulton's made a move on Brady McHugh and gotten past as well. And that puts Oliver up in the 16th place.
That's Chris Pellat. Just gets it a little bit touched up and gets sideways. There's a little bit of action there. Let's jump back into a replay
have a look at that one too.
And see what happened there. Oh, he got hit from behind. Unlucky. You're lucky you have race control on board. Yeah,
that's definitely. Matty Hansen went for an ever-closing gap there, unfortunately. He wasn't up far enough on the inside for my liking there to have Chris was always closing the gap on that one, and he's hit him behind the B pillar. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a stop and go penalty for car 26.
Martin Turner having a look on Hayden Veld there. Didn't get it done. Hayden held his line and got out there with a lot more speed.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue car 26 with a 20-second stop hold penalty. And he'll be able to serve his pit stop whilst he serves that penalty. So he'll only get an effective 20-second penalty for that.
Also, Bruce Ross.
Car 26, you have a 20-second stop hold penalty for causing the collision. You may serve your pit stop in that penalty when you're serving that penalty. And repeat, car 26, you have a 20-second stop and hold for causing a collision. So again, like everything, like to make my announcements as clear as possible so that people, can't take something else for what I've said.
Adam Kundra just getting a little bit wide there. Gets it on the grass. Unlucky for him, he just overdrove that into the corner, and he's probably going to get pounced on by Chris Palat that we just did see.
And car 26 has jumped into pit lane to serve his penalty.
And not only that, Marty Hansen as well. He's in the pits.
Yeah, that's car 26. So he's serving his penalty that I've issued him. But again, he'll be able to do his pit stop at the same time. So although he's probably going to fall back into the clutches of the field here, he's still going to be in the race because all of these guys in front of him are still going to have to do a pit stop.
Bruce Ross lighting it up out of the corner there. He just got massive pressure from Scott Chambers now.
And that's good to see. They're teammates for Pulse Racing, so it's good to see teammates having a good fight with each other.
Also Marty, he's still in the pits. 106, 107.
It's a very long pit stop. He may have towed.
I think he did because he jumped to the top of the timing sheet, so it must have put him in front of every other car. Justin Cotterill's done his stop, obviously from an accident earlier on. Watching the time screen, another one. Scott Chambers still on the back of Bruce Ross. As Ryan did say, these guys are teammates. Hayden Veld, what's going on? He's had a spin. Let's try and see.
I will have a quick look at that one.
See a replay on that really quickly. He's done it all himself. Nothing too dramatic there.
He's just under braking. He's just locked the rears, just pinched a rear, and it's sent him sideways. These cars are so easy to get wrong.
Well, that's it. You had Stephen Varga then just locking the brake, but he's checking out a bit. He's got a good 2-second lead on his teammate of David Miller, with David Mulcahy right up the back of him. Nathan Anderson as well. Nathan Anderson just coming out of that hairpin. Didn't like it too much in the rear end. I think he just put a little bit too much power down. But they're all going for it.
Tyler Blackburn on the back of him, and Paul Jones has caught up to him. So you get Stevens checked out a little bit, but then you've got a nice 5-car training behind that.
Can't see if there's any.
So William Mitchell has decided to do an early pit stop. Car 15, he's coming to the pits on his own choice.
Only that, Bruce Ross again must have lost that position to his mate Scott Chambers just as Scott goes off the track. Where's he going? He's going to mow some lawn and play in the sand.
Yes, that southern loop is a very, very tricky corner in these cars. It's very, very easy to get loose and out into that trap, and yeah, you lose a lot of time heading out there.
No time for that, as Brady McHugh is no joke trying to make a move on Hayden Veld there. Will he make it stick? But Hayden does have the inside line on the next corner. Let's see what happens with the power out of the corner. This is what's going to matter.
Great racing from those guys there. And Hayden's managed to pull it away as well, which is great racing, side-by-side action. No need to get your elbows out. Be nice and respectful and enjoy your racing.
Oh, a little bit of a touch-up between Brady and Hayden. Nothing too major. Everyone got away with it nice and neat. As
Ooh,
Hayden
has
just gives
massive
a
moment.
little bit power. As he's just
And
going to...
decides to pull into the pits instead. Had a massive moment. Nah, coming in.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to play the safe bet here.
Tyler
Pull into the
Blackburn's also
pits.
decided to get himself out of that front battle pack and go for some clean air. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Actually, quite a lot of drivers have pulled in now. You got Jackson Barry in the pits as well. Oliver Fullerton. Everybody's slowly piling into the pits.
Just had to refresh the paints there a little bit because it is showing all the trading paints. So I will just refresh them, make sure that all the not right, correct ones are not showing anymore.
I'll just do a quick rundown of the top 10 at the moment as we stand to. So we've got Stephen Varga in first, to David Miller, followed by Damon Mulqueen, very closely followed by Nathan Anderson and Paul Jones. A little bit further back you've got Alan Holgerson, followed by Sam Katakanzunas, Martin Turner, Bruce Ross, and then running up the top 10 you've got Stephen Burgess as well.
Just as we see, is it Martin Turner pulling into the pits? Paul Jones.
Actually, we
as
have
well
quite a
pulling
few.
into the
We've
pits.
got Damon
Nathan
Mulqueen,
Anderson.
Nathan Anderson. Yes, everyone's just decided to just dive into the pits. For a few people in the we got some more going in. We got Mitch Dean going in, Ashley Norman diving into the pits. So clearly,
Yeah,
9 laps in this car is enough for them, and they've had enough, and they're going in for new boots and some fuel. For a lot of people who don't know much about the sim racing, there's a program that we use called Joel Real Timing, especially myself for race control. And it gives me a live timing screen. I can see where people have jumped into the pits. I can see their lane time. I can see their stop time. It really, really helps for race control to see what's going on in the races, especially if we have a mandatory pit stop race or something on that like. It really does help me. The other thing it does have is a live track map, so I can see all the cars going around the track and circulating, and it definitely helps doing race control to have these aids that, you know, some of the great sim community people have made to help us drivers out. And as I speak, Stephen Varga and David Miller have both pulled into the pits.
Just about to say that.
It will be interesting to see where they come out in relation to Damon McQueen and Tyler as they come past as well.
Well, this is where the stop time is going to be the matter of it. Like, if you look at Damon Mulqueen's 14.7 second stop compared to, say, Tyler in P9 at the moment at 12.6 second stop, well, that's a massive difference.
Tyler managed to jump Nathan Anderson because he was stationary for 2.5 seconds less than Nathan Anderson, so he was able to jump him in that pit stop phase. Tyler Blackburn is very, very good at saving fuel. So Damon Mulqueen has managed to jump Stephen Varga there. Stephen Varga was stationary for 16.7 seconds, so it's really pushed him back down the pack.
It has, yeah, that was a long stop for not only Stephen Varga, Anderson as well, or David Miller, so to say, 16.5 second stop. That has got to be one of the longest at the moment, going back into P16 that was Javin Wood at a 16.4. So Damon's done a really good job there.
It'll be very interesting to see how Stephen goes in the pack now. He was clearly very, very comfortable leading the pack with clear air, but it'll be interesting to see how he goes leading in the pack, sorry, now as he's fighting pretty hard there with Tyler Blackburn, and that could slow him up and let Damon McQueen skip away.
Oh, they're pushing each
exactly
other.
What's happened. In a side-by-side still. And Nathan Anderson is hanging around behind and waiting, ready to pounce.
But the inside of this corner is the one that's going to matter.
Yeah.
If you can get a clean,
stick. And he has.
Yeah.
Great move.
That's it. If you can pull right over to the left-hand side of that track to get the next corner that he's on now, you're going to get that better run down that main straight. Ooh, as we watch on Nathan Anderson's car, he just tipped the curb there as he was putting the power down. It did not like it at all. And that Falcon V8 too. We got
car 19 further down the pack. He's had a bit of a spin, so I'm just going to have a look there. That's Mitch Dean. And he's managed to light it up all by himself. And a nice clean re-entry, so we'll keep going with that. I've got car 640 around too. A couple of people having a bit of a moment.
Oh, Javin Wood as well. He's back in the pits. He must have it a major smash. Car does not look happy at all. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. Nope, still in the pits. That must have been a netcode issue or something.
Yeah, I can't seem to see it on my computer either.
Yeah, so it just shot up saying it was in the pits.
So Nathan Anderson's managed to jump inside Tyler Blackburn while we're going on with all of that too. So Nathan Anderson's up into 3rd place. Stephen Varga's definitely reeling Damon Mulqueen in, and Nathan's just trying to follow suit with Stephen. Stephen's clearly got pace here tonight.
And that David Miller's on the back of Nathan there. So that's going to be a pressure for Nathan. He's got to look in front and behind. Attack and defense at the same time in a V8 supercar around Phillip Island is not going to go down too well.
No, not at all. So being a 25 lap race, these guys will actually have to come into the pit one more time to make it through this race. I'm led to believe by Justin, who did all the fuel calculations. He set it up so they will have to do 2 stops unless they are incredibly good at fuel saving. But the pace these guys are sitting at the front, I don't think anybody's thinking about fuel saving.
No, just this Tyler Blackburn locks the front right into the corner there. Sticking a nose up the outside. On Nathan Anderson. He's definitely putting the pressure on. Just as I refresh the paints once again. This is a good battle between these three.
Everybody else through the pack seemed to have split out a fair bit behind what's going on there, but these three here, Nathan, Tyler and David, are definitely having an absolute cracker of a battle. Tyler's got a run here. Will he go for a dive down the inside? Yeah, I think he's got it into turn 1. David having a look at Nathan as well.
Tyler just getting a little bit oversteery out of that corner. It's hurt him a little bit, and it's just given Nathan the inside line into the hairpin.
Oh, that's so close.
Not to mention the next turn is a left-hander, so Tyler's going to benefit from that one. But look who's in the background. David Miller is just going to benefit on any movement in the wrong way, as you can see him right on the back bumper of Nathan.
And see, David Miller, if he's playing the smart game here, he'd be lifting and coasting into these corners, trying to save as much fuel as possible for the next pit stop phase, so he can jump these guys in the next pit stop phase.
Oh, you're telling people strategy now. Don't do that.
Oh, look,
you can't tell them that.
Oh, well, these guys can't hear me. They're racing.
Yeah, I know. But everyone else can. They'll be like, oh, is that what Ryan does?
It's the whole point, isn't it? We're not here just to show a race. We're here to entertain and teach people. Damon and Stephen are really going at it. You can put a piece of paper between the two of them at the moment.
Oh, is that Stephen Varga got him? He's got the inside line into the turn 1.
Yeah, Damon will probably yield here and let him through. And he does. It's a smart choice there. The outside line's never going to work properly if you try and fight it through there. You're probably always going to end up in the grass, so live to fight another corner and try and stick this.
Definitely it.
The two lead guys have definitely stepped away from these other guys fighting for third, fourth and fifth here. Tyler again locking it up into the hairpin, getting loose, and oh, Nathan Anderson loose on the exit as well.
Ooh. Again, Nathan Anderson just a little bit heavy-footed. Alright, let's jump through the field real quick. Obviously, David Miller is all over the back of Nathan Anderson there. This battle is going to continue throughout the race as we're on lap 15 of 25 laps with 20 minutes remaining, or 21 minutes should I say remaining. Let's go through the field really quick as I've sorted out the paints to be normal. Oliver Fulton on a close battle behind Sel Galenti there. Everyone is spaced out nice and evenly. There's a massive couple of gaps in the back of the field. Justin Cotterill is doing a good job getting back on track after that smash that he had. Adam Kundra as well, he's back on track after he had a little bit of an incident. Javon Wood as well basically wrote off his car. He's coming in for the pits again, unlucky if something is wrong with his car. Let's go back up to the fight. This is the closest fight of the race, and I think will remain the closest fight of the race. The 4th, 5th and 6th battle between Nathan Anderson, David Miller and Paul Jones. Let's see if, yeah, look, people are starting to get lapped now, so...
Which always makes it very interesting. It's lap cars don't have to just stop and move over, but they're still allowed to run their race too. They do have to yield to it at a certain point, but you know, they don't have to just stop and ruin their race. So it'll be interesting to see how these faster guys get through the lap traffic, or whether they choose to do their pit stops early so they don't have to go through the lap traffic. So we've got 25 lap race. We're on lap 16. So effectively they can pit now and make it to the end. So it'll be interesting to see what decisions they make. And there you go, as I speak, Tyler Blackburn's decided to dive in the pits. He's realised he can make it to the end. So he's gone for an early call, and we'll see if that pays off later on.
Well, that's it. There's only what, Justin Cotterill, he's done 2 stops. Javon Wood's done 3. So it'll be interesting to see when he comes back out and where he puts in, and is he going to set the benchmark to get out of that fight, stay away from the boys and get some clean air, see if he can make a difference.
Oh, Javon Wood's had another crash and he's had to tow it back to the pits
also,
as well.
Justin Cotterill just as well. Just seen him getting a little bit loose at that hairpin there. Hayden Vell just jumped into the pits.
Justin doing the right thing there, staying out in the grass to avoid the leading cars. So you got Nathan and David Miller still fighting each other quite well.
Dave is right up the back of him. He's not going to let it go. This is going to be a battle to the end of the race. Hopefully the pit stop might change it up. This is the only way you can differentiate in a racing situation like this. If you can drive faster in a corner than the guy in front of you, then obviously a pit stop might help. But you gotta play that you know, you got to play that card, because you might come out in traffic, you never know. And a longer race like this one is, obviously a 25 lap race, you're going to have that traffic as they both pull into the pits at the same time.
Interesting. Stephen Varga, while we've been talking, has done the fastest lap of the race too. He's pulled off a 1:30.863, which is absolutely flying around here.
So he's definitely in the zone, he's feeling the car, everything's working really well for him. And that's when you can see that, well, lap times like that. But not to mention Paul Jones is in P2. So, don't discount that. There's only one stop to go.
He's got 8 seconds gap between him and Stephen Varga, and you've got, you know, Tyler Blackburn and all the other boys in behind. So it'll be interesting to see how it happens.
Well, look, if he does a general pit stop like the boys are doing at the moment, it'll put him roughly in about P7.
So, after those pit stops, Tyler was stationary for 13.1 seconds and Nathan was stationary for 12.6. So, Nathan's still managed to stay in front of Tyler Blackburn on the exit of the pit stops. And David Miller, even though he was stationary for 11.7, his lane time was longer than Nathan's. So, he's managed to fall in behind Tyler Blackburn. Might be a bit of a team play here. Nathan Anderson and Sal Galenti are teammates, so they are on different strategies. So you might see Sal yield to Nathan here at some point.
Just as we saw that, just in the foreground there, Adam Kudra just going off the track in the hairpin there. That may be for the fact of letting the faster guys through. Sometimes
yeah,
it does
I would
happen.
say that would be the case. And Sal Galenti dives into the pits to let his teammate slingshot past. And Paul Jones has entered the pits as well, so it'll be interesting to see if Paul Jones can make up any time whatsoever on this pack, or if he's still going to be those few seconds behind. And he's come out about 4 seconds behind David Miller, so I think he's maybe lost about a second through that pit stop phase as well.
There's a couple of battles going on there, hey, definitely, hey, well these three, again, Nathan Anderson, Tyler Blackburn, David Miller.
Well, you could quite literally throw a blanket across these three guys for the entire race.
Yeah,
They've
but that's
been
it.
at it from the start of the race and they haven't stopped.
And you just see in the screen in the foreground there, that was Damon Mulqueen just going around Stephen Burgess. Obviously Damon's done his second stop and Steve hasn't.
Stephen Vargo has elected to stay out too, so he's still running out there at the moment. As I say that, he's literally just pulled into the pit stops. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a gap he's pulled on Damon Mulqueen.
And where he's going to come out.
He's definitely flying tonight.
Definitely going to watch this one. This is where we need split screen.
Yes, this is definitely where we need split screen.
So we can watch the pit stop.
So Damon is coming around the last corner now as we speak.
Stephen leaves the pits.
Yes.
Oh, what a gap.
Oh, massive gap.
No pressure whatsoever.
No, none whatsoever, so it's almost 5 seconds.
You can see in the foreground that was Steve going around the third turn as Damon was coming through, but look at the timing screens between these three. Once again, they're fighting for position there, guys. I can't even keep up with how many times they've actually changed position tonight.
Yes, yeah, quite a few times.
It's just three names, they're just swapping positions.
Nathan's actually starting to slowly pull a bit of a gap there on Tyler.
Oh,
and
not as he
I
does
say
that.
I put the curse on him and he's locked a brake and let the other two guys catch up.
He's going to have some strong words with you later on.
Yep.
And obviously Tyler's just put a little bit too much of a brake on there to avoid just any case of a spin. So that's let David Miller get right up the back bumper of that. That's close proximity racing for you.
So if you just drop back just a little bit and have a look at Paul, you've got Alan and Paul having a great little battle too. They're trading fastest lap times with each other as well.
As you can see, yeah, they're very, very close on lap times. 1:31.713 to a 1:31.735.
Other than that, you go back down through the pack. Martin Turner, there's quite a big gap between Martin Turner and Alan. Then William Mitchell, there's about a 1.5 second gap. Chris Pellett in 10th, there's quite a bit of a gap. Then down into Bruce Ross in 11th. 12th, you got Stephen Burgess. 13th, Sal Galenti. 14th, Sam Katakanzunas, who is relatively close to Sal, but about 2 seconds off. Oliver Fulton in 15th. Brady McHugh in 16th. Hayden Veld in 17th.
He's got an issue, Brady. He's really slowed up there.
And
just basically let Hayden through.
So it looks like Chris Pellet's had a bit of... No, Chris Pellet's jumped into the pit stops. He was the last of the guys.
Oh, and he's missed his pit bay. He had to reverse it back. Yeah, he's missed his pit bay. That's going to hurt a little bit in the time as well.
It will. We're a bit more relaxed with our rules in the Monday Night Series, but if he had have done that in the Dev Series and the race stewards would cotton onto it, he would actually receive a stop-go penalty for that.
Ouch.
We have a no reversing rule in pit lane.
So if you miss your pit bay, that's it. You got to go around again.
Unfortunately, yes. Really puts the onus on the drivers
it's
to
like an airport runway.
Yeah, it's not very nice because you've actually
mate.
stopped, and you've actually stopped as well. So it's not like you've just driven through. You've driven through, stopped, and then had to go again. So it's effectively you've given yourself a stop-go penalty.
But again, as you look, David Miller.
Nathan Anderson must have had a bit of a moment while we're talking about all that, because he's dropped it back down behind Tyler and David Miller, and Miller's jumped up in front of Tyler.
I was just looking at that there. There was a little bit of a change there, and hopefully there wasn't a bingle or something between these boys, but the cars look nice and straight, so I wouldn't say anything like that. It would have been a self-involved incident, if anything.
Well, yeah, look, if it was a bad enough incident, somebody would have called out over to race control for me to have a look at, and I didn't get any calls like that, so...
So you do listen to the onboard voice chat throughout?
Yes, I'm listening as we're talking now, waiting for somebody to call, and I will look at something if somebody calls for me. Generally, our rule of thumb is race control, can you please look at this? And if they know the turn number or the driver number, then they can say that as well. But just if they say race control, can you look at this? Their driver number's going to pop up on the screen. I'm going to know who it is, and I'm going to go back and look at their last lap or so and see where the incident was.
Because usually if someone's going to make a call like that, it will be pretty much close to when they're going to call it, really.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes it's almost a lap goes by before they decide to pop up and say something. Sometimes they're in the heat of the moment and they're really struggling to get back on track, and they worry about that first before they call out. So yeah, look, most of the time it's instant, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time for that call to come through. And funnily enough, sometimes a driver thinks he's been hard done by, and he'll call for us to go and have a look at it, and we look at it, and it's actually the driver who's called it's fault, and that driver actually ends up getting a penalty themselves.
So it's like dobbing yourself in?
Unfortunately, sometimes it does happen that way. Look, in the heat of the moment, we always think we're right as race car drivers, and we always think the other guys are wrong, but sometimes that's not the case.
There's only two battles going on in the field at the moment. It would be the David Miller fight between Tyler Blackburn. That's for P3 and P4. And then we go back all the way down to Sal Galenti and Sam Kanagazinas for 12 and 13th. So, yeah, that's an interesting battle. We'll just focus on that a little bit. Sam's right on the back of Sal there.
Locks a brake as well.
That's not going to go too well on the exit of that corner where you need that speed. As you can see, the rear of his car just twitching a little bit as he's trying to compensate for that lock-up and put a little bit more power down as they come in to the hairpin.
And Sal's pinched the rear brake.
Evil V8s.
Yep, evil cars. I'm actually kind of glad I'm not racing tonight. It's one of my least favourite cars.
Oh, we should have swapped jobs for the night. Oh, should have swapped jobs as a racer for the night.
Yeah.
Chris Palat as well, down in P16 on the back of Scott Chambers. That's another one. He's closing the gap. That's probably one to watch as well. But everyone's nice and spaced out. Better not talk about too many people at once because, you know, commentary curse and all. I don't want to curse anyone.
I think we've done that enough tonight.
Yeah, I think we have. We've definitely had a few run-ins with the boys, and I think there's going to be some conversations later in Discord.
I think there might be.
As we can see from the Sunday night AMF GT Dev Series, we got to watch what we say about who, just in case anything does happen.
Look, you'd be surprised actually. I managed to do a race controller's curse last night in the broadcast. So I actually was talking to Justin saying that Sal Galenti was having a great race for his first race back in Dev Series for about 3 or 4 months. And just as I said it, Aaron had a big spin moment right in front of him and ended up taking Sal out of the race. And it was literally 30 seconds after I just praised Sal's race. So even I do the curse sometimes.
That's it. If you watch someone enough, and Stephen Burgess on the back of Sam Catakazinas, he did have really good pace into that corner, but just a little bit too much of a lead foot, getting a little bit too eager to get that spot. Did get a little bit of wheel spin out of that corner. Again, Chris Palat still putting the pressure on the back of Scott Chambers. Or as you see how close they get, those lovely purple rims. As I've sorted out the paints, I just basically deleted them all because some were not the right paint. And as we did mention before,
Nathan Anderson slowly catching up to Tyler, and David Miller's starting to pull a nice decent gap away from Tyler as well.
they're gapping out a bit. Look, they've only got 6 minutes 20 seconds to go. There's a lot of brake locking happening as we see it on the screen.
We're actually on the second last lap, so
that is correct. Stephen Varga is actually on his final lap.
It's the final lap, so this is the final lap of the race, and I would assume this is how the top 5 is going to finish, with Stephen Varga, Damon McQueen, David Miller, Tyler Blackburn, followed up by Nathan Anderson. The top 5 didn't change all night, basically.
They chopped and changed positions a little bit.
Chopped and changed positions a fair bit, but the top 5 drivers managed to hold it all together and stay in there all night. And just as I say that, David Miller's had a moment into the hairpin and lost a heap of time.
Even Stephen Varga around the last corner even touched the grass. He does have the time to spare, so there's no dramas.
An 8-second win by Stephen Varga's a very dominant win around here. Great race from him.
Damon Mulqueen coming through in second position, but
I'm just going to what I always do, and I disable chat for all the drivers, just to let all the other drivers finish their race. So none of the drivers can actually have a talk to each other at the moment. It just allows the other guys that are still having their race to finish their race in a bit of quiet before the other drivers congratulate each other. Just a bit of a respect thing more than anything else. And generally what I'll do after that is I'll jump on and I'll congratulate the podium, and I'll actually instruct them to come into our broadcast waiting room and have a chat with us tonight if they're available.
Hayden Veld just ran out of fuel.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
That's just not what you want to do, especially on a broadcast, because you know we're going to pick it up because we're watching the speed of the car.
Yeah, that's Motor Racing 101 there, Hayden. We always make sure we've got enough fuel to get to the end.
That's it, eh?
So with the last couple of stragglers finishing off the race, I'll do a bit of an announcement to the guys. Congratulations to the podium guys. It's some really good racing there. Can I actually ask the podium drivers, Stephen Varga, Damon Mulqueen and David Miller, if you're able to jump on the AMF Discord channel and jump into the broadcast waiting room and have a bit of a chat with Stephen and I. Not sure if any of you guys knew this tonight, but you were being broadcast live, so yeah, we'd love to have a chat with the podium.
I'm guessing there's going to be a couple of what?
Yeah, none of them knew. I actually sprung it on them just then.
Also in the Facebook chat, Gil, how you going, buddy? Great racing. Yeah, these boys know what they're doing, and thanks for the commentary. It was more relaxed tonight. Always tune in on the Sundays with the GT Dev series. That's the crazy professional stuff happening.
It was. Look, I'm going to do one more announcement to these guys. So just give me a second. Guys, yeah, for those of you who didn't know, tonight's race was broadcast. Tonight's race is also brought to us by CPR Kart Parts, AMF sponsor for Monday night racing. If you'd like to watch the broadcast, it is being broadcast on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel, so definitely head over there after the race and watch yourselves in action. So we've got Damon in the waiting room. But we might wait until we've got David, and we'll have a chat to David first, I think. Hopefully we can get him in.
Hopefully. They'll usually jump in sooner or later.
Yeah.
Alright, well, while we're waiting for that, let's go to the results. Okay, Stephen Barger takes it out on an awesome drive. David Mulqueen in second. On the middle step podium, David Miller in third. Gets the bottom step of the podium, but a good drive from him all night against Tyler Blackburn that came out in fourth. Nathan Anderson in fifth. You saw these guys chop and change. Paul Jones as well got back up there in P6. Alan Holgerson in 7th position. William Mitchell in 8th. Martin Turner in 9th. Bruce Ross in P10. That rounds out your top 10. Let's go over to Sam Kazinas in 11th. Steve Burgess in 12th. Sal Galanti in 13th. Oliver Fullerton. You're the man, apparently. Wayne Hewitt in 14th. Scott Chambers in 15th. Chris Palat in 16th. Michael Stewart in 17th. Ashley Norman in 18th. Hayden Veld in 19th. So sorry you ran out of fuel, bud. Mitch Dean in 20th. Let's go over the page to Brady McHugh in 21st. Justin Cotterill in 22nd. Marty Hansen in 23rd. Adam Kudra in 24th. A couple of them boys not having the best night. Javon Wood as well. There was a DNF. Jackson Barry. Dwayne Priest in 30th. Nick Warnest in 28th or 30th or 31st.
Nick, Otis, Dwayne and Lockie didn't race at all tonight, so...
Yeah, so it's put them in the back. And Ryan Colston himself in the commentator's booth as the safety car.
Yeah, well, I hope everyone got a bit of an insight to what happens into race control and what I do. Obviously, it was quite an easy race for me tonight. I only had one penalty to call, so I like it when it's like that. My night can be a little bit boring, but I'd rather it be boring than busy.
Yeah, that's it, true, especially from a race control point of view.
Yep.
Alright, well, while we're here, we've got David Miller. Let's pull him into the commentary booth and have a quick chat.
Sounds good.
David Miller, how you going, buddy?
Alright, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. How's your heart rate, bud?
Yeah, good.
You definitely had a good fight there between Tyler and Nathan all night.
Yeah, I know, I couldn't get past them.
Yeah, obviously, you're at the bottom step of the podium, mate, so you got past them when it counts.
Yeah, when it counted, like I was saying to Bar, because I was on our Discord, and I said, that's it, elbows out. I finally got past him.
You had a really clean race. It looked like, I was actually saying it during the broadcast, it looked like you were kind of just holding station there and trying to save a bit of fuel and maybe try and jump him into the final pit stop.
No, I was pretty much just waiting for him to make a mistake. I didn't want to push it, because you said keep your elbows in, so I did.
Yeah, no.
Race
It's
control
nice when
threats.
Race Controls listens too.
That's it, mate. By all means, mate, you had a stellar drive. We're trying to keep up with you boys all night. It was the most entertaining battle of the night. While you're in the commentary booth, mate, you have an open mic. Give a shout out to your teammates and everything. Go for it.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Redback Racing and LeBlanc. And yeah, it's just, I couldn't get over it when we both got 2 Redback Racing cars on the front row.
Awesome work, mate.
No, thank you. Thanks for hosting. That was good fun.
No worries, David. Hope to see you back for a couple more Monday nights.
Yeah, I don't do much on Monday anyway, so that's why I jumped in tonight.
Sounds good. Well, we got, I think we've got Radicals at Motegi East next week, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't mind the old Radical.
Yeah, they're a good fun car to drive.
Well, a bit crazy.
Well, yeah, they're a bit crazy too.
Race control is going to be on point that night.
Yeah, I think I might have some work cut out for me on next Monday night.
That's it. Oh, well, David, mate, congrats on the podium, mate. Thanks for joining us in the commentary booth, mate. We'll see you again in the AMF series either Sunday or Monday.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
No worries, mate.
Catch you, David.
See ya.
Alright, let's pull in P2, Mr. Damon Mulqueen. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, boys. Yourselves?
Yeah, not
Yeah,
too
we're good.
bad. No drifting tonight, bud.
Oh, there was a wee bit beforehand. No, I was having to fuel save at the end of the race, so
How
no
was it?
celebrations.
No,
It was really good. It was good to come out, have a good clean race against everyone, and there was a couple of moments where hopefully we put on some side by side action. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
You and Stephen had some great side-by-side action for a couple of laps there. It was good to see.
You know, and give a lot of credit to Steve. He's a really good racer, and I normally get a bit scared when I've got cars next to me and I can't quite see them. So I normally tend to give maybe a wee bit too much room on the side, but it's better than being turned around or in the wall because of it.
Of course.
I don't know. Going into turn one, it was a good battle in there.
As I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and to be fair, I'd love to do it again with him. A lot more trust in someone when you've done it once.
Well, most definitely, especially in sim racing, because you're never quite sure who the guy is behind the wheel. So once you race with them a couple of times and you get to know what they're like, you can definitely go to wheel with a driver a lot more. I've noticed that running on the Monday night series, myself and Nathan Anderson spend a lot of time wheel to wheel, and there's been a couple of car and lap combinations that we've managed to do an entire lap side by side in a race scenario. So you do get to learn to trust drivers as well.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. You're learning to trust everyone around you, especially if you race with them often. But then I reckon with the way the V8 is, tyres and around here, you'd probably get side-by-side racing for a good portion of the lap, but I don't think you'd make it full laps.
No, I don't think so around here. This isn't quite the right car combination to do it. If I remember correctly, the one Nathan and I did was MX-5s around Okayama.
You know, that's definitely a place where you could do that in the lower power cars, because you can keep the momentum up without causing the back end to step out or the front end to slide out like we are, because we just so heavily grip limited at times with these V8s.
Definitely. But yeah, no, overall it was a fantastic drive from you tonight. Do you have anybody you want to thank for your race tonight?
You know, I'd like to thank everyone over at Synergy for bringing me on board. I'd like to thank Trackstar Racewear, DGD Customs, SR Fabrication, JK Signs, Aussies Mechanical, Eaton, Newlon, D-Photo, and 80 Hobo. No, that was it. 88 Media. That's the one. Just stop doing this. Leave me alone.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. Trust me. I've tried it before and it didn't work very well. I think that's the best I've done so far.
I think you're about to get a Discord message from Hobo.
Oh no. But no, I'd also like to thank everyone for running this tonight and all the series sponsors that great of them to throw it on. And it's provided great racing from what I've briefly seen and heard.
Well, definitely jump onto our Facebook channel or our YouTube channel and watch the race back from tonight, because it was some fantastic racing tonight.
You know, someone else I forgot to thank as well, BK Designs. How could I forget him? You know, cheers guys.
No worries, Dano.
You have a good one.
You have a good one, mate.
Yeah, we'll do. See yous.
Alright, as we have Stephen Varga waiting in the broadcast waiting room, let's move him on in. Stephen Varga, how you going, buddy?
Thanks, how you doing?
Awesome, mate. Probably not as good as you after that run.
Quite stoked with that. Didn't expect it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, even on the last corner there, mate, we'll put it in the grass and you're just like, yeah, no dramas.
I was going to attempt to slide it, and then I thought, yeah, I'm going to put it in the wall, so I won't. And then, yeah, luckily
I have to say, that qualifying lap you did was fantastic. So for someone who's never really raced on Monday nights with us much, to go out there and do a qualifying lap with the pressure that we put on everyone for qualifying, it was an absolute cracker of a lap for qualifying.
Thank you very much. No, never raced with you on the Monday night, but a big fan of the V8 supercar and race that for a little while now. And really like driving it, so whenever there's a race on, I'll try and get into it if I can.
Yeah, well, like we were saying earlier on in the broadcast, we race the V8s once every iRacing season. We like to do a different car and track combination every single week, and the V8s will always make an appearance once every season.
Well, if I'm not doing an official, I'll jump in more than likely.
Sounds good.
So did you know it was getting broadcast or not?
No idea at all.
It's going to be entertaining when
I
you
did
watch
forget
it
to mention that to everyone at the start of the race tonight.
So I quickly just got on the messenger and quickly asked for all the sponsors to thank.
Someone quick tell me. Usually everyone just goes and loads up their Facebook page.
If you don't mind, I wouldn't mind if I could thank LeBlanc, RMS, NZ and Burropez, please. Thank you very much for sponsorship. And of course you guys for hosting each week.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
That's all good. Congrats on the podium tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. I'll go and get a drink and go back and watch some of that.
Yeah, I would, mate. You put in some cracking laps through that race too.
You made it look
you
easy,
managed
mate.
You actually managed to go faster than your qualifying lap in the race. A 1:30.863 in that race. It was a really good lap.
Yeah, I was just rubbing that into David Miller just then. Yeah, it is a favourite track, and I have taken my own SS around here, but never, unfortunately, at these speeds that we've been doing tonight. But it would be nice. But I can always dream.
That's it, isn't it?
You can do
Thank
it
you
in
again.
Sims, so it's all good.
Not a drama,
Cheers.
Steve.
All right, have a good night.
You
Catch
too,
you, mate.
buddy. Alright, as we round out another broadcast on Podium, my name's Steve, this is Ryan. We've got to thank the AMF series. I can't say AMF, GT Dev series. And not only will we thank the Dev series, or AMF series, we've got to thank CPR Car Parts for putting on the Monday night shows. It is awesome to get involved with. We kind of try and let all the boys know in the Sunday races that Monday is on, but it's always difficult for some people to race 2 nights in a row. But look, the different cars and the different track combos are absolutely awesome to come and see. So look on the AMF Facebook page and keep an eye on their YouTube channel.
From me, I'd like to thank Podium Broadcasting for doing our broadcasting on Sundays and Mondays now. I'd also like to thank our sponsor CPR for Monday nights, and RMS, who's always in the background helping us out with all of our software. Yeah, look, we couldn't do this series without the people that turn up each week and our sponsors that help us out. So yeah, I'd like to thank everyone that helps me and Justin out for AMF as a whole series for everything that we do. Next Monday we will be running Radicals at Motegi East for another 45 or 25 lap race or thereabouts. So it should be great.
Definitely. So keep tuned to it. If you're on Facebook watching this, by all means, always jump in the broadcast, always jump in the chat. We're always watching and we do reply. As for the racing or racers, by all means, if you're on iRacing or want to get on iRacing, have a look at the Aussie Mixed and Fixed iRacing League Facebook page, and get in touch with either Ryan or Justin or even any of the other racers as well. It is a family environment as a community, so everyone else helps everyone out. By all means, tune in next time for the AMF GT Dev series on Sunday night, and then obviously next Monday night we'll be back with the Monday night one, as Ryan just said, with the Radicals. I'm Steve and I'm signing off for the night. Thanks Ryan for jumping in the commentary booth and joining in and showing these guys a little bit behind the scenes of the race control situation as well, mate. So that's awesome to have you in here, and you're welcome any other time you want.
I think I'll be coming back for every race for Monday night for the rest of the series, and if you're happy to do it, I'm going to do the race control live through the broadcast too, because I think it's a really good insight for people to see what's going on.
It is. It's good, relaxed Monday vibe. You know what I mean? It's always the start of the week, and no one's looking forward to it. So you might as well chill out on the couch, get on your phone, get on your iPad, laptop, tune into YouTube, and watch us have a nice, relaxed environment about some racing.
That's it. All right, Steve. I'll talk to you later.
All right, mate. Have a good one. And from us at Podium, we're signing off for the night, and we will see you again very, very shortly. See you guys.